Alright everybody, Baron here, and welcome back to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which it just feels, granted we've been wrong about this before, but it was like an arms race when things started accelerating, right, over at Landfall, and it seems like the momentum is building up there again. It is mid-September, and one can only hope that 2018 is the year of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. But what we're looking at right here is how to win a battle in medieval warfare. Step 1, have arrows. Step 2, have bombs. Step 3, put your bombs on your arrows. Look at this explosiveness. This is amazing. It reminds me of like the Hwacha, but just a lot better. And if you think about like, whenever I see stuff like this, I just get really excited about the unit editor. I feel like the biggest thing that tabs could have, and hopefully should have, is a really good unit editor. One that would allow us to change models as well as weapons and stats. If we can do those things, then tabs can live on forever. Because look at this, I mean, you can imagine, what if these guys' axes were explosive, so when they hit something they blew up? Or what if the crossbow could fire explosive arrows? Or what if the Hwacha was firing explosive arrows? Or what if someone had like an automatic, like, freaking crossbow with 6 shots that all had explosive arrows? Oh my gosh, the possibilities. Now this is really cool. See, this is so tabs. I will say this flat out, this is so tabs. Look at this. It is an absolutely silly unit, but it is one that's amazing. It's a mirror shield man, which basically reflects any and all ranged stuff back at them. It reminds me of like the Gungans in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, you know, in the Battle of Naboo with the droids, which, by the way, if you can do this in tabs, then don't you think you could customize the model? So like the red team's droids and the blue team's Gungans, and then you're gonna recreate the Battle of Naboo. Can you imagine that using tabs? Tabs could be a sandbox that once again could live on forever. All right, and here we have, this is another such a tabs unit, and it makes me think about superheroes like Magneto. This is a catapult that is literally firing a giant magnet. The magnet then attracts all of the metal weaponry that the blue team's using, and then there is a giant line of red explosive arrow archers just there to blow them all up in one bit. And look at the texturing on the catapult. It is so much more detailed, so much more beautiful, and it's fantastic. The textures on that catapult are like, like a round of applause. And this is what makes me think that, like, you look at all the stuff they're doing to the armor and the weaponry in the, for the rest of the units and for the game in general. And it's just like, it's gonna have that tabs feel, but it's also just gonna look really good, right? It's gonna have the wacky tabs feel, but then it's gonna have like, it's gonna add more layers to the game. I'm so excited. It's amazing to think that, good lord, it is September 2018. So 2 years and 2 months since I first saw tabs, and I'm still just like, I just can't wait to get a hold of this game, like when it is finally there. But yeah, seriously, imagine the catapult firing anything you want. Imagine it firing a giant spike bomb, or imagine it firing like 100 little rocks, or like 10 medium-sized rocks, or 1 giant rock like a normal catapult, right? Or a catapult rock that is wrapped in like pitch and lit on fire. You know, something like that, like, or imagine like one berserker, like a crazy guy with painted face, and he's got 2 battle axes, and he's launched into the enemy lines, and he just hacks at them on his way through the air. And if he hits the wrong thing, he's dead. Or if he gets shot in the air, which would be true tabs form, imagine you launching people out of the catapult, and then having archers kind of going pull, like, you know, skeet shooting, but with arrows, and people being launched out of catapults. That is tabs. Tabs is really our imagination. That is the one thing I keep saying. And here we have, if you can throw about 20 knives per second, you can beat at least 15 people with big axes. Source, very accurate in scientific simulation using the Totally Accurate Battle Sandbox. Tabs could be a totally accurate battle sandbox. Anyway, this knife thrower guy is pretty impressive. So, going back to the magnetic catapult The magnetic ability. I keep seeing things that remind me of like other superheroes' powers. And if those things are in the game, then they're already kind of like in the what? They're there. They're present. Those abilities are there, and then we could, you know, meddle with them and have them do things like instead of a magnet doing it, a person could do it. And then you give him a really cool helmet. Next thing you know, he's Magneto. Bam! The X-Men are on tabs. And this is, of course, by mod support, which is not sold for profit and therefore allowed. The ideas are flowing. Anyway, guys, so in this episode, I want you, obviously, the go-to questions are always, what unit would you want to add in tabs? And secondly, and very importantly, to continue this amazing, beautiful series that is created by us together, you guys and myself. And that is, what are your custom battle suggestions that you want? We're just about to get into those. But I will want you to preface the units that you want as far as like which superheroes do you think would be cool to have in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. You know, what was it, 2 weeks ago we showed off a unit that could become Spider-Man, you know, with the Spider Mage, and now we have an ability that could be used to make Magneto. It's really cool. Anyway, guys, let's get into the custom battles. Leave your custom battle suggestions below and your favorite superhero powers or abilities below for which units, because it's got my imagination going. All right, this was just perfect. So in our custom battles, the first one comes in from Lego Hobo 910, and this is the Battle of Wakanda from Infinity War. So, without further ado, let's get started, and I'll do a little bit of slow motion to start it off, because on the red forces, we have the Bearman as Cull Obsidian, a Spearman as Corvus Glaive, one Samurai as Proxima Midnight, 3 Barrel Rollers as the Threshers, basically the spinning disc things, and 75 Headbutters as Outriders. Then in the back, we have a Super Boxer as Thanos. Now we've got the Forces of Good, which are already mixing it up. So we've got 20 Footmen as Wakandan soldiers, a Spearman as Okoye, 1 Bearman as M'Baku, 1 Archer as Falcon, 1 Barrel Roller as War Machine, 1 Bearman as Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster, 1 Ninja as Black Panther, a Samurai as Black Widow, 1 Viking as Scarlet Witch, 1 M16 as Bucky, a Shield Man as Captain America, 1 Beamer as Vision, and then we've got delayed 1 Tesla as Thor, 1 Bearman as Groot, and 1 Laser as Rocket. So, look at this. This is actually pretty good. So it's most of the good guys still alive. Here's Bucky firing at the Super Boxer. So the Super Boxer is Thanos, right? So this makes me think, like, this right here, Lego Hobo just listed like a bunch of superheroes. Oh my gosh, and look at that, the Forces of Good won. Well, you know, I don't know, I don't feel so good. All right, let's play this one once more into the breach, and we're gonna go in real time and kind of have like, look at the clash. See, this is the thing. I just can't. My imagination can't stop with this game, and I know that if ever there is, look at that right there. This is for a guy. I'm gonna move Thanos up a little bit, even though it was kind of like a delayed to the battle. He just doesn't really have an effect on it. But I think if I put him in the front, he definitely will. He'll attract a lot more attention. Alright, so let's see how this goes. Plus, I could always make, like, a Samurai Masters. I could change them from Samurai to Samurai Masters. But can you imagine, like, of all those, like, you can see all of it, right? But imagine if you could even go to the extent of, like, you know, Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster. Imagine if you could make, like, Iron Man suits. I don't know, that's probably a little extreme. You know, oh my gosh, man, they're just kicking butt. These battles go so fast. But another thing is like, even still, even if you can't do like that kind of stuff, you can always make stuff like Captain America. Instead of just having this guy holding a shield, you could actually have a Captain America, and you could customize his stats so he just doesn't die immediately. And you could like make the shield, you know, smaller and look like the Captain America shield, and it could have the mirror shield, you know, abilities, or maybe it just would deflect anything and everything. Bullets could, like, nothing could go through it. We've talked about it before, and here's all the headbutters here. I'm wondering if I change some of the headbutters to maybe Viking Warriors, because Bucky and his M16 is just kicking butt. But here's Thanos. Wait a minute. This battle's different. See? We didn't do anything to change it. And now all of a sudden we're probably gonna have Thanos kick in. Let's see. Does he get a punch? Yeah, he's... Look at that. See, that's physics, baby. No other game's got it. What happened over there? A red victory. Thanos won. He had to bring balance. Yeah, he has to bring balance to this, right? So blue's won twice and red one's once. If Thanos is Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, he can bring balance and give 50% of the winning results to his side. Alright, one of the Bearmen just went down. Come on, Thanos, you gotta do this, man. Why am I cheering for Thanos? Well, you know, because we need balance. No, no, no. Come this way, Thanos. Thanos, come. Oh, this is not looking good. He's totally dead. Yeah. See, isn't that crazy though? Literally nothing was changed on the battlefield. Just for fun, just for fun. We'll let it go normal speed. But yeah, I mean, it's just there's so much possibility. And so in the battle for Wakanda, and especially in Black Panther, weren't there guys who were riding rhinoceroses, like rhino cavalry? Come on, Thanos didn't kill Bucky, and he died. If he would have knocked out Bucky, it's not like they would have had a better chance, but they would have had a better chance. Alright guys, so this suggestion comes in from Quincy Adams. It sounds like he founded the country of the United States of America. Can we not forget that the United Kingdom, Great Britain, lost a 13 colony lead? Anyway, this is the Battle of Helm's Deep. In the blue corner, the blue team, we've got 30 Elven Archers, 20 Vikings as the footmen of Rohan, 10 Spearmen, and I got rid of the 5 chariots as the riders of Rohan. But don't worry, we do have Gandalf over here as a Tesla coil guy coming in. You know what? Actually, we gotta give him some reinforcements, so I'm gonna give him... what's something fast? I guess we could just give him headbutters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I decided to do was the samurai here is Theoden, the samurai master is Aragorn, and they were over here in the keep part, even though this is kind of like inverted, bear with me. The trumps are the walls of Helm's Deep, and then we've got Gimli, and we put him on a box so that he could see over the wall, and then we've got Legolas here as the beamer as well, and they were on the long wall, or the deeping wall? Yeah, they were on the deeping wall with all the elvish archers. Alright, and so then, the red forces, oh my gosh, Theoden's already building his Great Wall of Helm's Deep. No, actually Helm's Deep was built way before Theoden was king. I don't even know if that's true, but I'm assuming it is, because that's a big bad fort. And it looked like it was almost made maybe by dwarves too. Anyway, so the red team composed of 40 footmen, 20 spear throwers, 20 shields, 2 cannons as the orc bombs, 3 chicken men as the orc reinforcements, and 3 Hwachas as orc archers, and 2 ballistas as orc artillery. I guess I only put in 2 Hwachas, so maybe I should put up more, but honestly, they're having a rough time in this whole Helm's Deep thing. Actually, they've got Donald Trumps. I forgot that he's armed with twin M16s, so we should probably put in the 3rd Hwacha. And then I had another idea. Instead of like an actual, oh man, look at that. That cannon has an arrow sticking out of it. What if that arrow was not only an explosive arrow, but a timed explosive arrow? So it wouldn't blow up immediately. Maybe the arrow would kill them. See, and this could be a custom unit. Okay, so instead of instead of the Donald Trumps, I'm gonna have this is the wall. And we're gonna greatly increase. The orcs are gonna have a lot of little, well, I guess they were Uruk-hai, weren't they? So we can't just give them little mindless orcs. And I think the Wildmen of Dunland didn't participate in the siege of Helm's Deep. I think they were like raiding the countryside. Whom do you serve? Saruman. These are all units. We could make, if we had a custom map maker as well, I still think custom units are more important. But I think, now that I think about it, custom maps are also equally important to really convey the proper atmosphere. But if you had the flat test map that they tease and show a lot of this stuff on, if we had that, at least you could do a lot more. Oh my gosh, this is actually really bad. Those shields did not do much. And actually the Uruk-hai are gonna absolutely overrun, which I guess is, you know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the 2 towers, Lord of the Rings, 2 towers, which is just brilliant. Look at that bow flying in the air. We're just gonna have to up our Gandalfian reinforcements there. But man, you could make a Helm's Deep custom map. Would that not be amazing? Look at Gimli go ham. And it looks like Legolas may have hit him with a little bit of friendly fire there, as he's a little bit darker than usual. This guy's got a spear coming out of his butt, and he's flying in the air. This poor guy. That poor elvish archer, man, just got absolutely butt kicked. But you could customize and make, where are you? Gandalf, where is Gandalf? Alright, Gandalf, you really, we're gonna have to change where your reinforcement comes in, because apparently you've had a little bit too much of the, you've been using your pipe a little bit too much, we'll say that. And we're gonna give energy swords as the Knights of, Rohan. Rohirrim! But see, here's the thing. So when I was talking about the rhinoceros cavalry from the, from Black Panther and the Battle of Wakanda, were they there at the Battle of Wakanda? I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to rewatch Infinity Wars. But I think they may have been. And we've already got woolly mammoths, right? And we've got horses. And then if you think about animals, now we have snakes and chickens, right? So there's obviously the ability to do animal physics in the game. So don't you think it could be possible then to make Oliphants from Lord of the Rings, or rhinoceros cavalry from the Marvel universe? Oh, poor Legolas, you're gonna have a bad time. We should have probably made you. You know what? I'm gonna do this just for fun. We're gonna change Legolas into a ninja master. I think even though the beam rifle can be very effective, I think this will be better. And you know what? We're gonna have a few more Viking as warriors of Rohan. But man, I could just see like Star Wars, Marvel, Lord of the Rings, like Warhammer. You could do anything to your heart's content, and it would still have that wacky Tabsy style to it. Oh man, look at Legolas getting up in here. Up in here, up in here. It'd be also cool if, like, the AI would be, like, this is just me, like, if I had a list of 1,000 items long, you know, what would I do? And this is item, like, 457 on that list of things I would love to see, is, oh, you just shot him in the thigh! Poor Legolas. Oh! Oh, Legolas looked like he was going down. That'd be cool if, like, maybe when a unit got within a certain proximity, right, of a unit, he'll switch his attack. Like, say muskets that had bayonets on them would then switch to melee combat instead of just range. Or units like the Ninja Master would not just throw shuriken, but if a unit got too close, they would then switch to, like, Kung Fu mode, and it would just switch their combat style off, right? So it basically, oh my gosh, Gandalf is kicking that butt, son! It basically would allow units to have more than one ability to fight, or more than one method of fight. Oh, that guy did good. That Uruk-hai took out that rider, Rohan. Alright, let's see how this goes. This actually is gonna be tough, but Aragorn just went down to a number of spears. It's almost like his name was Boromir, and those spears were thrown out of a very, very giant Uruk-hai bow. Yeah, wait a minute, I forgot that, man, Saruman came in early, didn't he? He really went rogue. And then here's the Chicken Man. Oh, that guy lost his lightsaber. And this is the last of them. Ooh, and it's a red victory. Okay, okay. What are we gonna do about that? Maybe a few footmen too. We'll add that. And then this will be the final skirmish for Helm's Deep. Winner takes all. Is it gonna be totally accurate? Look at this, see? These are the watches, right? Those exploding arrows from earlier? What if these things actually exploded? Instead of, like, right now, they just kind of, like, fall. And if they hit someone, they kind of... It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how they work. Look at this. This guy got hit with 2 of them. Or imagine, like... I want, like, Chinese-style firework launchers. Like... Almost like old-world Katyushas, even and with a little more style than, say, like this watch. But these are very, very old. This is like 2016 style models. Like, I remember the musket patch came, and then there was the Hawachas, right? And those were the first 2 things added. And then I think there was like a rebalance, or there was like a balance patch, and then the neon patch came. Like, it's really kind of crazy to think, like, Tabs had a few iterations in 2016 from what, summer to fall, maybe even into winter. I don't know. I'm trying to forget. I'm not trying to forget. I'm trying to remember when the neon patch was launched. And it was like just for content creators, I think it was, or just for people who had the, I don't know. I forget how that worked. But yeah, not everybody has neon. I forgot all about that. Neon was like totally imbalanced. Like they're the most unbalanced faction. Obviously they have like a lot of really, really cool things and it was fun. It's almost like, you know, I mean they got Jedis in there, right? Oh yeah, I'm putting my money, even with this guy in the back. He can't take out all of those guys. Look at these. They're taking out the Chicken Man in the background. You've got Gimli charging. You've got one of these Riders of Rohan here with the energy swords, and he gone. Who's left alive? Look at these guys. They're making a conga line. Is there a guy under the? Oh, I don't even know. This, and it is slowly falling. It's funny how that happens. And I love how you can see through the battlefield. Like we could watch, look at that, the ballista's like trying to hit. Look at this poor guy, he's limping around because he's got an arrow like, oh, that looks like it hurts. Oh, it's in his elbow. He's got a shuriken like in his leg, man. It's just not a good day if you're that guy. If you're Gimli. We're gonna call this one for the good guys. Alright, this one's gonna drastically hurt my computer unless I go slow motion, but look at this. This is Lord Sauron, isn't it? I mean, it could be, right? You could, oh man, imagine making this guy, like, imagine the armor, the helmet, and the giant, like, energy mace that Sauron had, right? So, this is from Elis Oizon. And this is the battle request of the prologue battle in Lord of the Rings. The map is neon because the cubes can be like catapults or trebuchets firing onto the battlefield, and it looks closer to Mordor than any of the other maps. Once again, imagine what could happen if we had map customization. Ooh, and this is not going very well for the good guys. So the blue, the allied armies of Middle-earth, there's 20 shields as elven soldiers, 20 spearmen as elven soldiers. Then there's 50 footmen as the men. Which would probably be what, from Gondor and Arnor and the other kingdoms of men. Then you've got 30 archers as men and elvish archers. One energy sword is the king of Gondor. Another energy sword is Isildur. And then 2 samurai masters as the elvish lords Elrond and Gil-galad. Oh my gosh, Sauron just got caught. Let's see what happens here. He just got, did he just get destroyed by a cube? He got tripped up by a cube. It's amazing. It'd be cool if, I wonder if we're gonna be able to handle, look at this, it looks like he just punted a chicken. That's a unit I want. I want a unit that punts chickens at people. Or what if there was the unit that pooped out the kitchens? Oh my gosh, man. Pooped out the chickens, and then there was a unit that would kick chickens. Oh, you poor man. You're gonna get absolutely wammocked here. This is the last hope of men, and he is trying to run away, and he gets an axe to the spine, and it's a red victory. That's a victory for the bad guys. So the red faction, there's 120 Vikings and orcs, 40 barbarians as orc berserkers, 5 axemen as trolls, and then I didn't even add the 30 archers as the orcish archers, but I did keep the chicken man as Sauron. And that is because if you already look at this, like, it'd just be nuts. Alright, so what do we do to make this better? Let's try putting these guys at the front. Actually, I'm gonna put the human lords in the back and the elvish lords in the front, just because they'll be better at breaking apart the enemy lines. So I'm gonna put them on either side, and let's hope that is. This is the winner takes all. But so here's the thing, right? We've been talking about like being able to customize and make superheroes, right? We had, and of the 3 custom battles that we showed off today, 2 of them were Lord of the Rings, and 1 was a Marvel comic battle. And all of these units could be made to at least look like units from those respective, you know, franchises, from Lord of the Rings and from Marvel, yeah, basically the Marvel universe, right? You've got like Infinity Wars, you got like Thanos, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, your grandma, like, you know, there'd be all that kind of stuff there. And then in this one, Lord of the Rings would be just glorious. Oh man, the poor men of Earth, the men of Earth. What mortal No. Oh my gosh. I want to make like StarCraft units. I want to make like Space Marines and Dragoons. And what are the Protoss units with the blades on their hands? The Zealots. And then you could have like StarCraft versus Star Wars. And Lord of the Rings versus Game of Thrones. Imagine being able to make Game of Thrones. Marvel versus DC in tabs. Literally endless battles that we could have. I think the tabs Steam Workshop, if it had that, oh my god, look at those guys flying off into space, would be like one of the biggest Steam Workshops eventually, depending on how it was done. Anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. Looks like the bad guys won this last one. And they didn't even have the 30 archers. So anyway, let me know 2 things. Your custom battle suggestions for the next episode, because we're doing these weekly now that we're seeing lots of updates and teasers and little treats over on the BaronVonGames YouTube channel and on their Twitter. And then secondly, which superheroes, and I guess you could use that to interpretation, you know, outside of like Marvel and DC into other things. But let me know what you'd like to see and which ones you want to see in game, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you next time!